disappointed. Yeah, I could have been a guy that lived underground for 48 years. Never exposed to sunlight. I am thrilled to be here. Are you guys happy to be here? I'm Team Josh. And I'll fight anyone who isn't. Oh, you're gonna fight me? Oh, okay, he's actually ready to, this guy is ready to go. What are you team? What are you team, sir? You don't even know, do you? You don't care, you just wanted to fight me. I don't care, I want to kick his ass. I am thrilled to be here, ladies and gentlemen, for this amazing panel, Mockingjay Part 2. I could do any panel. I wanted to do this one. I am really thrilled to be here. They've asked me to mention just one or two things. I first of all want to welcome you to the Comic-Con Hall H. I think the best hall, H. Yeah. Don't do that. It's just a letter. And we're going to bring you today, of course, talk about Part 2, the epic story of Katniss Everdeen and the world of Panem. Full circle. This next movie brings it all around. We're all very excited. I'm encouraging fans to hashtag unite and hashtag Mockingjay Part 2, hashtag SDCC. I'm middle-aged and I don't know what any of that means. But I'm told you guys know what to do with that information, /delete. Okay. I'm in so over my head. Okay, I've also been told to remind you that we're not allowed to shoot anything with our phones today because you're going to be seeing some pretty incredible, groundbreaking, amazing, first-time ever stuff today. But rest assured, I will be shooting it all on my iPhone. I will have this on the internet in 40 minutes. And they're calling security now. All right. Let's get started. Without further ado, please welcome the director of these incredible films, Francis Lawrence. Let's get Francis Lawrence up here. There he is. Let's bring out producer Nina Jacobson. She made it all happen, ladies and gentlemen. She brought this franchise together. Ladies and gentlemen, also the character that started it all, Primrose Everdeen, Willow Shields. District 13 Rebel Warrior, Gail Hawthorne, Liam Hemsworth. The recently rescued Peeta Mellark, Josh Hutcherson. And finally, last but certainly not least, the Mockingjay herself, Katniss Everdeen. Yeah! We're done. Thank you. Good night.
Oh, that never gets old.
Rushes forward. Never gets old. Welcome, everybody. There's so much to talk about. Thanks, all of you, for being here. This is very cool. I have some questions. We're going to start with Nina Jacobson, if you don't mind, Nina. This is an incredible conclusion to a series that has been years and years in the making. It's inspired a generation of fans. How do you go about bringing this franchise to a close with this last film? I mean, it's a massive task to bring it all together. What are your thoughts?
Which I think it's been emotional for all of us because we've had amazing material from Suzanne Collins that has captivated an enormous amount of attention, but also has a lot to say. And we want to deliver on the emotion and on the politics of it, all of the things that Suzanne has had to say about our culture. We want to deliver on all of that. But we also don't want to say goodbye to each other. And so it's been a combination of trying to really nail it and make sure that it is completely satisfying to the core in terms of theme, character, and story. and to enjoy the time that we have together while we do it.
This has got to be emotional for you because it's been, as you said, it's been a long experience. Now you're bringing it around full circle, and you guys have to kind of say goodbye. That's got to be tough.
It is tough. I think we all wish that there were 7 or 8 books, not just 3. But if we do them justice and really bring the emotions home. It's a very, very emotional conclusion, and it's emotional for us, but I think it's emotional for audiences, and we want to deliver for the fans. They've delivered for us. We want to deliver for them.
Well, I have written hastily a script for a new one, and if you guys are willing to make it, yeah, I play a large part in the next one. It will be very unpopular. Francis Lawrence, in this installment, the next one, war is fully underway. Without giving any incredible spoilers that destroy the purpose of all of us being here, can you tell us what we're going to see in Mockingjay Part 2?
Well, I think, this is where Katniss kind of gets back into action. She was a bit sidelined in the last movie and going through some of her issues, but this time she's finally going after Snow and going into the Capitol with Squad 451, and we get some real battle footage, and it's some really exciting stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'm told that you brought something very special for us to see today. Is that correct?
I did.
Yes. It's a picture you took several hours ago.
Yeah,
You brought something that I think people are going to be very excited.
Yes, we brought the first full trailer.
He didn't say he was going to show it. We were looking at it backstage, and it's awesome.
You guys are the first ones to see it. It has not gone anywhere. It still won't go anywhere for a while.
That's not true.
Especially
I saw it.
If you all put the phones down, please, so that people can see high-quality versions. But I'm really excited to bring.
That's incredible. All right, Francis, trailer was absolutely unbelievable, and the movie looks amazing. This story now takes it to the next level because the characters are now above ground and they are fighting, and as we can all see, they're running around. There are so many different battlefields. What's it like? How does that new environment influence the story? It must have been fun / incredibly complicated to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it was very complicated. But it was interesting because we had a big shift. When we moved to the Capitol, we actually moved production from Atlanta to Europe, and a lot of Atlanta was spent in kind of dank warehouses and spent kind of in our underground sets. And so to leave Atlanta and to go to Europe and shoot on these and in these amazing locations in Paris and Berlin created an entirely different environment for all of us, I think. So it was kind of this breath of fresh air. And the world kind of opened up for us just as it did for the characters. But it was tough. I mean, it was grueling. There are really difficult scenes to shoot, really strenuous physically and demanding in terms of focus and vigilance and effects and stunts. But it was fun, challenging work, and really great to be in Europe and in Europe with all these guys here.
I have a question for Jennifer. Jennifer, Katniss making her final appearance on the big screen. Of all the films that you have done, it's been such a big part of your life, is there a moment that you have that's a favorite moment for Katniss?
All of the movies?
Of all the movies, you have 30 seconds.
Genuinely, though.
You can call a lifeline if you want. It doesn't have to be just one, but are there moments that pop with you about Katniss? There are moments where you really felt like
You're like, just say something, anything,
No, you
even
don't
if it's
have
a
to.
list. God. I can't remember this whole
What about when you
period
volunteered
of
for your
my life.
sister?
That was cool, thank you. I loved that.
Yeah, you're all allowed to shout out suggestions.
Please, I need a lifeline. Thank you. That
Does not help her right
Yeah, I love you, Jennifer,
It
is
does
not
help
a
me.
suggestion.
It doesn't help
No,
Conan,
it
but it
sidetracks
helps
that
me.
mind. It doesn't need any more sidetracking.
When I first go into the arena, when I do what in the arena?
The arrow into the sky.
that was, you know, not as climactic in person as you would think. I don't know.
Well, we have our clip out of context. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I volunteer as tribute.
That's her favorite, of
That
course.
is.
Come on, guys, the I
Of course.
Volunteers tribute. It has to be your favorite.
Yeah.
I'm just, you
Yeah,
know,
it does have
you
to be.
know,
Thank
it
you,
has
honey.
to.
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good job.
Willow, I have a question for you. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
Oh my
anything.
God, I got really scared for a second.
No, I can't even. I'm blacking out right now. I can't even remember this entire period of
These
my
are
life.
questions Lionsgate gave me, by the way, so I will not be blamed for these questions.
The truth is, there is one, but it's in the second movie. I don't want to blow it.
Oh, really? Okay. Just
I
write
may
it
have read
down
the
and I'll
books.
say it later. Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this. This is actually what it says on my card. When we last left PETA, his memories had been hijacked, and he was not Katniss's biggest fan. That's what it says right here. That's the nicest way to say trying to choke the life out of somebody.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about now where we're picking up your character, because that was such a traumatic ending to the last film, and now we're starting in that place with your character, and I think a lot of people are just curious where you go from there.
Yeah, it's a long road to recovery, and it has some bumps along the way. But we kind of picked PETA up inside 13, sort of trying to get himself back, and he went through a lot, and he was in the Capitol with his torturing and using Tracker Jacker venom and all sorts of, you know, really dark, twisted devices to turn him into a kind of psychotic weapon against Katniss. And so in this movie, it's really kind of PETA trying to rehabilitate him to be able to use him as a good guy and kind of help the cause.
And you couldn't stay away for long. Couldn't resist
Yeah.
this.
Oh, wow. The tension up here with you three is incredible. Okay, Liam, Gale has evolved. He's now part of the District 13 uprising, and the stakes keep getting raised for your character over and over and over again, higher and higher. Has it been a tricky evolution for you? Do you want to comment on that? Anything you'd like to say?
Thank you for asking. It's actually a great question. I'm glad you asked it.
It's a Lionsgate question. Yeah.
Thank you. You know, Gail's kind of been on the sidelines for a long time, and been watching the fight happen, and he's finally, in the mix and heavily a part of the uprising and the military operations, and becomes a big part of sort of the plans and ideas behind how they're going to attack the Capitol. He teams up with Jeffrey Wright's character, Beatty, and they devise a few ways to kind of ambush and trap the enemy.
It must be fun because as it's obviously in the last movie and now particularly in this movie, you get the sense you really get to kick ass, which I think would be a lot of fun. I mean, you and I have fought together, and
We've had a couple of fights.
we have fought.
It's like a ritual before we go onto your show. We just have a little
Anytime
fight
you come on my
backstage.
show,
you
we
have
both
to fight Conan before you go onto his show.
You have to fight me. We both strip to the waist and fight, and that's an appealing. Half of that's an appealing sight. I have a question for Willow. Prim triggered the path of Katniss Everdeen's story and began the whole thing, really. And you see this relationship evolving over the films. How do you feel it's evolving in this next film without giving away too much?
I think that it's evolved a lot. I think throughout every film you see how beautiful their relationship is. It's really genuine, and I think Katniss is her whole goal throughout this entire series is to save Prim and to be there for Prim. And I feel like you saw a little bit in Mockingjay Part 1. I think Prim starts to be there for Katniss more than Katniss is there for her in a way, which I find really interesting, and it's really fun to see how it's evolved to become that. Like, all of a sudden Prim is really like grown up and is kind of a stronger character, and she's kind of taking care of Katniss in a way, more mentally than physically, but you know what I mean?
She needs that.
Huh?
She needs that.
She does need that, yeah. So, I mean, I think it's been really fun to play because she really has evolved over 5 years now. I mean, I started when I was 10 and now I'm 15, so, you know, it's really cool to see how it's evolved.
I have to say, for me personally, when I was watching the last film, when you went out to get the cat, I was so mad at you. The whole world is coming apart, and you're like, I've got to get the cat! It's like, get another cat!
The cat? Are you kidding me? Don't do it.
Oh, the cat.
I've gone down a bad road. So many cat people here are mad at me. Just go to #ConanCatHate. All right, this is a question for all the panelists. We can get a little free form here, and get a little crazy, and get a little sexy. I was kidding about that. What are you most excited to see finished on the big screen? Is there something for you personally? Why don't we start with you that you'd like to just see resolved in this final film?
I mean, for me, the most satisfying and gratifying part of this series was this film, because it ends the story. And so I'm just excited for everybody to see the end of the story, to see what happens to the characters, to see how it closes out, and to feel that emotion, that history kind of come to an end. I'm really pleased with the film and really pleased with the way it ends, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
How about you guys? Anything that you've personally been feeling like? You three have been living in this triangle now for the whole making of the film. Is there some sense of personal, like, I want to see this resolved in some way, just for yourselves?
Josh and I have a great scene in this. We've been friends for so long, but we really haven't worked together.
Haven't had any scenes together in all these movies.
And we gotta.
Wait 1 second.
Just hold on a second,
Oh
guys.
my God, I thought we all knew everything about everybody, and
No,
apparently
there are
you
some
guys
things.
have some scenes I don't know about. Okay, what is it? Sorry.
Peter and Gail were having a talk.
It's Peter.
You were asleep.
You said Peter because you're Australian.
That's just Australia.
Peter and Dale.
You really did say Peter.
Peter.
My nose itches so much.
Who named someone Peter?
It's a really good question.
But okay, you can get this. All right.
We have a really emotional scene together, and there might be a kiss between Josh and I.
They said no spoilers, man.
Yeah, sorry.
He said maybe
Forget
kiss.
it.
That's true.
I'm excited because I feel that, you know, in the stories leading up to this one, Katniss is always, she doesn't want to be a piece of the game. That's where Peeta sets out from the beginning, and yet there's always somebody calling the shots for her. Whether it's Snow, or it's Plutarch, or it's Coin. And this is the story in which she finally takes control of her own story, takes control of her destiny, and makes decisions that she makes for herself. Not the easiest decisions at all, but I think watching a character and a woman truly come into her own and make decisions to set her own course. For Katniss, who we've seen grow up through these movies, that to me feels very satisfying.
Was there a final day? Was there a moment where you guys all wrapped and realized, okay, this is done now, and you were all in the same place?
God,
was it
you're
one of
killing
those
me.
classic Hollywood stories where you're all you're in Prague, you're in Stade, you're in Berlin, you know, you're all in different places.
Berlin?
Well, you guys were wrapped.
Me and Josh wrapped the day before the last day of wrap, and then we came to set when you and Woody had the last scene.
Yeah, and then we held each other
We had an emotional
for
holding.
an hour.
Yeah. During, we hadn't actually finished shooting yet, but we felt the need to have a good hug and.
There's no way of saying this that doesn't start rumors, but that night we held each other and slept like puppies.
It's true, you know.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, but it was great. Like afterwards, we got to we were all there for that final wrap moment, and then we just kind of moved. It was really weird, like old historical building in Berlin. And it was like this back hallway leading to this giant ballroom. And we got the whole crew back there, and Francis gave like a great speech. And I think you tried to give a speech or something.
I didn't try. No, I didn't. Woody gave a speech.
Yeah, and it was great. But no, it's super
I
emotional.
can't imagine Woody giving a speech. That would be an interesting
He gave a
speech.
slur.
Listen, everybody.
He gave an accent.
No, Francis gives this emotional speech, but that always happens to me. I'll listen and like we're crying, and then somebody will always be like, "Jen, do you have anything to say?" I'm like,
Oh.
one, I can't follow that, but what have we learned over the years about being public speaking?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, like.
I have a kill switch for your mic on the table.
we are going to get some questions from the audience, but first we have a couple of fan questions from social media. Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah. Exactly. Question to Willow from @Twitter. If you lived in Pan Am, which district would you like to live in? Question mark. Or even the capital? Question mark.
That's a hard question. I mean, all the districts are not super fun. So, I mean, I feel like I would actually say District 12 just because I feel like the people in District 12 are pretty great. Like, I mean...
And you already know them.
Exactly,
Stick
I'm
to your
so
roots.
familiar with them, like we have coffee all the time, and so, you know, but I feel like they're really like strong, independent, hardworking people that like stick with their families, and I don't know, it's just cool. Like, we got a
And
good
the hobby's
vibe
kinda
going on,
active.
you know what I mean? Like, we got a good vibe.
Am I crazy, or isn't the place to live President Snow's palace?
Well,
I mean, so the guy's a jerk, but it's an incredible house.
It is.
Running water. Whenever they cut to the district, everyone's sad, trying to eat a squirrel, and then you look at Snow, and he's eating pudding out of a silver bowl.
I thought about that for a second because I was like, you know, I love food so much
Yeah.
that it's kind of, I'm split, but yeah.
He lives in a 5-star hotel. All right, I have a question. This is for Josh Hutcherson from Everdean's Arrows, Twitter. A lot of fans would like to see the books from PETA's point of view. Would you like that?
That'd be interesting. I think every character has such like a different perspective of the story that I think there's a lot of characters that would be cool to sort of explore, you know, their inner thoughts, like you get to get inside of Katniss's mind. But I mean, Katniss is the obvious choice to kind of go through with the story, so I'm very happy that it was done in her perspective. I think with each character would be cool to see kind of their own little view of the world that's going on.
Okay, question to Liam from Hemsworth's Hugs at Twitter. This question is from me.
That's a good hug to have.
That's my handle. If you could meet Gale, what would you say to him?
Probably say, it's all right, mate. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
And also, you work out. You look good.
What are your bitches?
Yeah. Question to Jennifer Lawrence from Hutcher Wife, Twitter.
I told her not to tweet it, Jen.
If you could keep one of Katniss Everdeen's costumes, which one would you choose?
Classic wifey.
Well, I love the wedding dress from Catching Fire because it's understated. The wetsuits would be funny because that would be hilarious to take to a beach. So maybe the wet. You know
You
what I
think
do
the wetsuit?
want that's in the museum, and I spotted this. It's the orange backpack from the first Hunger Games. Because I just have so many memories of hiding my phone in there, but I can't have it.
Where did you see it? You saw it in a museum?
Yeah, there's an exhibit, a Hunger Games exhibit at the Whitney. Josh and I went every day.
Times Square.
Not the Whitney.
Times Square.
Yeah.
Discovery Times
But
Square.
I hit the kill switch, Josh hit the kill switch.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen. No, they actually, we were just there like a couple weekends ago in New York, and it's like this traveling Hunger Games exhibit that shows a lot of like the behind the world of Panem and like all the themes of the movie, and they have like a bunch of our costumes.
They had a bunch of stuff that I wanted.
It doesn't work.
I turned it back.
Can't you guys steal stuff if there's something on the set that you really want? Have you taken
yeah.
something like, oh, I love the crossbow, I can't let it go, and someone's there saying, that's made of
First
crossbow.
of all, it's not a crossbow, it's a longbow. Crossbows are easy.
I have handcuffs.
I'm sorry, but all you have to do is pull the trigger. And it's been
Sorry.
months and months training so that I could be called a crossbower.
I stole a little.
I
You
have
just
all
made
those,
a fool
I
out
have
of me.
those bows. I have my rehearsal. Well, there were a lot of different bows when shooting. There's the close-up bow, which has no scratches and is, you know, been Jennifer
Christine.
approved.
Yeah.
And then there's the shooting one that really has all the scratches on it, the one that I caught in the grass and it hit me so hard in the chin that I flew myself backwards.
And there's the limp one, too.
And the limb?
The limp one.
Oh, that's easier to pull. Yeah. And then there's a rehearsal one just to get used to the weight. And that's the one they tried to give me as if I wouldn't notice.
So you're bitter, is what you're saying. Very, very bitter.
I don't know what I'm going to do with these artifacts. It's not like I'm going to have them laying around my house. But yeah, I feel a sense of ownership.
We have another question here for Jennifer at Sassy Joshifer on Twitter. All these handles. Your character Katniss has amazing braids throughout the franchise. How are your braiding skills?
Oh, terrible. I have two brothers, and my mom's never been one for doing hair. I barely know how to do one.
Right. So you couldn't braid your hair, like, just if someone said you've got to braid your hair, you'd be like, there's nothing I can do, I can't help you.
I could braid in an emergency situation.
Like, this is a life or death situation, Jen. Can you braid your hair?
Can there be a lot of flyaway?
Okay, and then this question to all cast from at @EverLarkSunset Twitter. Can you do the Mockingjay whistle all together, please?
I gotta be honest, every time I try and do it, it comes out as like the X-Files.
X-Files.
You're doing it really well over here. That's very, is that you? You're eerily good at it. Unless you have a caged bird with you.
I haven't done this in a really long time. I don't think my character ever does this.
There's like 5,000 people are all just
Yeah, now you're just doing it, and it's feeling creepy.
Yeah, Josh has a cool skill, dude.
I've heard that when I tell jokes sometimes. How did you find out you could do that? What took you to know you could do that?
Well, lots of time on my own.
Yeah.
Not many friends, a dog.
I've been there. All right. We have some audience Q&A now. Let's go to the audience.
Francis was like, I just thought about wrapping the movie. And it was like day one of like 300 and 150. And Josh was playing with my nephew, and I was holding.
She has a nephew named Bear, and he's an adorable little baby.
Yes,
we were like
they
running
really
around the
fun.
field.
Anyway, it was really
it was
fun.
emotional.
Liam
It was
wasn't there,
emotional.
and that sucked.
Yeah, that was the most emotional part. For some reason, I thought that Liam and I don't know why. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. We had some additional photography to do, and we had to film it months after we finished the main shooting. And under my ignorance, I was assumed that the whole cast was going to be there.
You don't have to grab the microphone.
I really like it though. I feel like a rock star. And then it was really a letdown when all of a sudden Woody wasn't there and Liam
Nobody
wasn't
got one of the
there.
Britney
Willow.
Spears microphones.
So yeah, it was emotional.
Okay, next question.
Hi, first of all, it's an honor to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I think we all appreciate it. My question's a little similar, but I'm wondering how much of like from the book is for the epilogue. Like, how is it filmed? Because I read that the last scene is like just Katniss.
Don't. We can't hear.
Kill switch. Kill switch.
I don't want to kill switch.
Okay. Is it similar to the book, or is it a little different? Like, how is it made, kind of?
It's all green screen. No, I'm kidding.
We made the books. I mean, things change in adaptations, so there will be some, differences, but we always wanted to make the books. We made the books. I think everybody here who loves the end of the last book is going to love the end of this movie.
There you go.
Except she ends up
Really,
pale.
really emotional. I think you guys are going to be really happy.
Good answer.
Fantastic. All right, next question, and I love your purse. I think it's fantastic.
Miss Lawrence, this is an honor.
Oh,
My question is, do you think any of the characters you played rubbed off on you?
I wish. Yeah. Yeah, the drinking really rubbed off on me from American Hustle. Joking. I know, I see you right.
There was just a reminder here that they put here for Jen specifically, I think, that says, please be aware that many members of your audience may be under 18 years
I
old.
love how that's just like Josh's. He did that to me earlier. He pointed. He's like, "That's for you." Like what?
It is.
I would hope that a little bit of Katniss has rubbed off on me in a way. Just in the, we had similar. I mean, nothing about us is similar because she's brave and I'm an actress. But in the sense of something kind of falling on you, or not falling on you, like a big piano. I'm trying to say what I have in my head is actually pretty interesting. There's no way I'm going to be able to get it out.
Come on.
Something was kind of bestowed upon Katniss in a way, in the same way that saying yes to these movies was unto me. And I would like to hope that some of the leadership, something, I don't know, you guys, I haven't done interviews for like a year. I'm really out of practice. This is our first.
It's a really hard way to dive back into.
I'm so sorry.
I thought that was really nice what you were saying.
Was it
I thought,
nice?
Yes, I thought that was really nice.
In my head, the sentiment.
You're too hard on yourself.
I know they're making fun of me.
Keep going.
I would hope that, you know, that, yeah, Katniss.
Sorry, I'm
of
sorry
all
this
of them,
includes your
of any of
question.
them, if anybody rubbed off on me, I would hope and think that it could possibly maybe be Katniss. Thank you for your wonderful question. I'm sorry for my horrible answer.
It's a great answer. Next question.
Hi. My question is
Yo.
it's for Francis and Nina. In Mockingjay, there's a lot of material in between the climax of the book and before the epilogue. What were the challenges that you faced in adapting that section of the book?
Francis was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll take a little bit of that, and then Francis, you dive into. I think one of the biggest challenges was that in the book, Katniss doesn't know a lot of what's going on around her during that segment following the climax, prior to the epilogue. There's a period in which she's somewhat in the dark, and so you can't leave your hero passively in the dark, waiting for news. And so we needed to find a way to stay with her, as we've tried to throughout the series. We've always tried to see things through her eyes and to stay rooted in her point of view. And to let an authentic emotional response evolve and give ourselves time to do that, while at the same time being mindful of the fact that you want to keep driving forward towards your conclusion. So finding that balance between taking time for real emotion and having the propulsion to drive towards the end, I think that's been a challenge. But I feel great about where we've ended up, and wanting to feel that you feel true emotional resolution for these characters. They've been through so much. Our fans have been so sort of committed to their journey, and we want to come through.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of it less as a challenge and more kind of an interesting journey, because one of the things that I've always been really interested in the books is the idea of the consequence of war and violence, and, you know, toward the end of this movie, that's what we're really exploring with Katniss. And so to be able to sit with her and watch her sort of put herself back together as best as she can, was really interesting to me and really satisfying. And so less of a challenge and more fun in a weird way.
Good question, though.
Next question. Hello.
Hi, I'm Jessica. Sorry, I'm just really happy to see you guys.
We're happy to see you.
You know, I've said that to people and no one reacts.
Usually run.
Okay, my question is, what are you guys going to miss the most about filming the Hunger Games series?
If you're looking at it. No, for me it's been like the most incredible movie making experience, and it just experience in my life of getting to know these people and across the board. All these lovely people and
Sweet angel. He's a sweet, sweet
What's on
angel.
your fingers? But no, really, like from the entire, not just like just people you see here, but there's so many people that were involved in making these movies, hundreds and hundreds of people, and they were all great. Like all the cast, the grips, the people who do all the effects, you know, the cameramen, everybody, all the cast, the extras, they were all so into making these movies and just genuinely great people, and getting to meet them and work with them was incredible. And so I'm definitely going to miss this big family that we've created. And we're going to a lot of us are still going to see each other, but there's still like hundreds of people that we became very close with that we're not going to get to see anymore, and that's definitely hard, I think.
Another question?
Hey guys. So this is like a really powerful story, and I just wondered if there's one thing that you hope fans take away from this last movie, what would it be?
This is all you, Jen.
My worst nightmare. I don't know, but I heard my name at the end of it. Did you say Jen? I was like, maybe I misunderstood, and you said no. I think it's so bad.
Just relax, focus, take a second.
Liam, will you say hello to me, or what did you say to that girl?
It's okay, Jen. It's okay, Jen. It's okay, Jen. Just got worse and worse. Don't ask me to do that again, all right? I don't want to be a part of your stuff over here.
Yeah, or just like help me. What I'm trying to say is
Help get her started.
the power
Help get her started.
of of our future is in our hands. I'm trying to say that in a not cheesy way.
That's great. That's a good message.
Yeah. You see how hard this is? Go ahead.
It's about hope and empowerment.
I'm saying, yes, it's about hope and empowerment.
Two
Also,
words.
being involved. This was at the beginning of this movie, this was one girl who was standing up to something huge and gigantic. This entire, what I like about these movies is that they take the entire world in a way and condense it into this one continent and however you want to say it. But all of these issues are very real, and she was one girl. It was very scary, and she took it into her hands, and she did what was right, even though she knew there was good. I mean, I don't think you should risk your life, but I was just about to say, even though she knew she could die, and then I was like, well, pump brakes. But the power of the future is with you and in your hands.
It's true.
I will also say, though, that I think, and it's something that I will say too, in an answer to that question, that there's something that happened, at least for me, when there's certain scenes that we would start to shoot, and you feel the history of the characters, and especially of Katniss, and so to take away the sort of payoff of reading the books and stories and seeing the movies, and to feel the emotion and the history and the themes and the ideas kind of all come together and conclude at the end, I think is really powerful. I mean, I even felt it just shooting some of the scenes, and I really hope you all are able to share in that feeling.
I think we have time for one last question. Oh, the audience just said no, so...
Each and every one of you get to ask a question.
We'll get to all of you. We brought sleeping bags, yes.
How did you guys all know to say that?
Miss Jennifer Lawrence, I just want to ask you, how did Jennifer Lawrence bid goodbye to Katniss Everdeen?
Aw. I don't really feel like it's happened yet. I still think it's such a huge part of my life. You know, these movies really did change my life. I mean, as Josh was saying, you know, the people that are in my life are still, you know, you guys challenged me. I love you. Are you taking it off? I thought you were turning it off. I think that the changes that happened in my life from doing these movies are so permanent and still with me that I don't think that I'll ever really kind of say goodbye to it. It feels like a part of me.
All right, that was really all the time we had for audience questions.
She's in a full-blown Katniss outfit.
Oh, you're in a Katniss outfit. I'm sorry.
She is.
I'm sorry. I thought you were a Conan fan with a bow and arrow. I got confused. They do exist. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, my question is for Josh and Jen. It could be open to the whole cast, though. How has your character's attitude changed the way you portray the character?
Well, PETA kind of goes crazy. So there's that. It's my first time really playing crazy. And I've always wanted to. I don't know what it says about me. But yeah, so I mean, I had to really like let loose, and I don't really yell at people ever, so I never really yelled at someone. And in this movie, and in Mockingjay 1 and 2, there's a lot of really intense moments that I had to really push myself towards, a place that I've never even gone to in my normal life. And now I have to do it on camera with a bunch of other actors and people standing around, and it's going to be judged for the rest of my life. So it's, you know, it's been pretty intense, but yeah, it was fun to kind of let that crazy out, and it gave me confidence in the future if I need to kind of go to the extremes and everything like that I have done it now and I know how to do it. Yeah.
At the beginning, or when I first signed on to these movies, I was 20. Now I'm 24. But I remember feeling
like 40 in
frustration.
Hollywood,
Yeah, seriously. But I remember feeling frustration about Katniss's hesitation to kind of be this hero. I remember reading them and, doing it and wanting her to be excited about this role and to take charge, you know, and I remember just kind of being like, why is she? And then as I kind of grew with her, I realized how real and also powerful it was, her hesitation to start this war, because it doesn't solve problems sometimes. And so I can't remember what your question was, but I remember thinking this could possibly answer it. So I hope that is in fact true.
All right, I've been just handed a note. You all saw that I wasn't. It was here already. This just in.
I totally believed it.
Oh, really? Pulled it out of here, yeah. I've been asked to ask you guys if you'd like to see the trailer again before we go. Roll that! They are not only incredibly talented people, they're incredibly nice and very real, and you should know that. They are as they appear. So let's have a hand for our panelists. Look at that movie, November 20th. Go to hashtag, do that, hashtag hashtag Mockingjay Part 2, hashtag SDCC. I don't know how to say that. There's also, I will prompt all of you to visit the Lionsgate booth on the convention floor for giveaways and to attend talent autograph signings. Thank you all for being here. You guys are an incredible audience.
Before we stop, I just kind of say we've been doing these now for 4 years, and the fans have been insane, and you guys have been the best. And there's been so many moments where we're so tired on these press tours and everything, and you guys always show up with so much energy and support, and we just know we all feel the same way. We appreciate it more than anything, and we're so happy to see all you guys today. And just thank you so much.
Yeah, how cool is that? Thank you.
I think this is the part where we awkwardly stand and walk that way. And now the awkward standing, the waving.